to The Mind is Psychic, where we talk music, addiction, comedy. Welcome to episode 1. This is Ian. A few years ago, I decided I wanted to start a podcast. Wasn't sure what subject matter I wanted, but I wanted to do it. I've always been into music. I've been an addict my entire life. I've been sober for 5 years, and I decided I need to do something. I've been in the behavioral health field for the last 4 years, and it's about time that I do it. But I wasn't sure what subject. So why not do something that I love, which is music, comedy, addiction recovery, mental illness, all of the whole gamut. And I've decided that that's what I'm going to do. And that's what this project is going to be all about. So where do I start? I'm going to start back in 2019. That's when I decided September 15th, 2019, I decided I'm going to stop drinking. Been an addict my entire life, and I was sick of it. Well, I got sick, almost died, and I had enough. Started to get help, and I was talking to some people, and they mentioned it's actually my case manager. And he was like, I was in a group, and he said, you should think about doing peer support. So mind you, this is probably March of 2020. And he mentioned, yeah, you should definitely do peer support. I've been going to groups. I've been participating in them. I've been, that sort of thing. And I actually enjoyed it. So what I decided was to go get my peer-to-peers certification, the P2P cert, to become a peer support. Didn't think anything of it really. I did it, and then I started to apply. Didn't hear word one for about 8 months. Then I got the opportunity to do that, to go work with my peers, people that are recovering from all different substances, alcohol, heroin, fentanyl, meth, you name it. And I got to understand a lot more about it. I've always been a drinker. I love liquor. I love beer. I will always love it. But I can't drink anymore. I haven't had a drink since September 15th, 2019. So, with that being said, I'm working with these members and all of that. I want to do the podcast on addiction and recovery. And in this day and age, it's scary. Very scary with the drugs, especially fentanyl. And I also love music. I've been doing music, recording it, mixing, all of that I started in about 2000 with this little crappy mic and just fell in love. Started on FL Studio. Well, back then it was Fruity Loops. I loved music. One of my buddies in high school, he really got me into music. And I thought I wanted to be a producer. I've wanted to do it for a career. Built my own studio, started my own label, all of that good stuff. And then, but during this whole time, deeply into my addiction, on top of my mental illness and everything else. What I wanted to do, I was hiding, I was masking from my real self. Hence why I was drinking so much. And when I was doing the music thing, I wasn't clear headed. And I kept on doing it through the years, built my studio, all of that. Figuring, you know what, let me see what I can do with it. I'm still working, still going to school. So, there I've got that music part. And with the whole comedy thing, I just love it. I love making people laugh. I love laughing. It's just part of me. So that's where the whole podcast is going to come through, and what I want to talk about and what I want to do and how I want to empower people and help them. I'm still in the behavioral health field. I've stayed in that, and there's something about it. Co-occurring, which is basically having a mental illness and an addiction. So I deal with a lot of that population. I've worked with people that were just addicts with no mental illness. I've worked with people with severe mental illness. So the whole gamut I've worked with. And they're all adults from 18 to, however old. It doesn't matter when you stop. As long as you want it, you can do it. What's important is for people that are recovering, people that actually want to do it, tell you, you need to do this, you need to do that. Opinions, all of that. My heart, I believe, once you're ready to change, you can change. But until then, it's all BS. Just that fact. That's my opinion, but I had my family, I had my friends. They knew I had an issue. I never thought I did, honestly. Like, oh, I'm in my 20s, I'm just gonna, drink to the umph. So, I've always decided, and also I think being an addict is very selfish. And there's nothing wrong with that until you take it to the extreme, which I did. I think it's very important too, especially with family members that don't understand or grasp. And by them just saying, yeah, you can quit. Just do it. It's no big deal. That's a farce, and we all know it. Again, that's an opinion. It's not fact. But why? Why is that? Why is addiction so ingrained? I don't know. I, it would be cool to really understand the whole reason of how one can get to that point of, of course, death, jail, losing people, friends, finances, homes, the whole thing. And one thing I thought about was I need to do it, and I need to do it for me. Again, I had people tell me forever, you need to do this, you need to do that. This is what's important. This is, you need to quit drinking. You need to do that. Okay. And I'm not even talking about the whole addictive embedded in my DNA. Both my parents were addicts. Um, I remember being a kid and I saw my father he was he just drank so much and he was just the meanest. And I never wanted to be him. I never wanted to drink ever. Okay. Forward 15 years, I'm 20, 21, drinking. And once I picked it up, I knew I had three outcomes. I I can distinctly remember what the path was. I was either going to die, I was either going to control it, or I was going to do something really freaking stupid. And I just kept drinking, socially drinking by myself. And it got to the point by the time it's 29, 30, just escalated. From there, just I drank and I drank and I drank and I didn't care. And that's the whole part I bring back to selfishness, how I feel about everyone surrounding me. I thought I cared. I mean, I love people. It's one of those things where I needed to get better. So for me, no matter how much it was me and only me, and it was that time when I decided I'm done. I had enough. And you have to get to that point. You have to yourself. Nobody else, just you. So that's why I wanted to start this. More, I believe, for myself to do like a audio journal, because I'm not too much of a writer, but by doing this, I think I feel a lot better. I know I feel a lot better. And by discussing this, by talking, and I think I have something to give. I may not rap and do all that anymore, but this is a different way, a more creative way for me now that I'm heading to my 40s. Got 2 more years. I just think that it's, for me, this is what I want to do. So most of my episodes are going to be about addiction, mental illness, and then some are going to be about music. I'm going to try to get guests on This is in a very early stage of my idea of where I want this to grow. So this is just, I'm doing this because I love it. I don't expect anything out of it, but if it happens, it happens. And next time, we're going to discuss music.